So I'm on my way to Las Vegas. It's gonna take me another 2 days to get there. Right now I'm outside of Amarillo, Texas, maybe less than an hour. And you can see him in the video, passing like miles and miles of the wind power generators, the wind turbines. I'm on Route 40 headed west. And I stayed in a Motel 6 in Amarillo, Texas last night. Briefly drove through part of the town just to get a little bit of the culture, or at least a little bit of the feel for it. I'm starting to sweat bullets now, but I got my air on low. Didn't want to make it too loud for the video. But yep, I'm finally out of Circleville, Ohio. I think I moved back there in 2011. So after 4 more years of kind of like Groundhog Day in that place, where it just seemed like it was the same day over and over, other than when I got my girlfriend Mandy, that, you know, sparked plenty of excitement in my life, you know, for a year and a half. But as far as the town of Circleville goes, it was just getting really boring, and they kept taking stuff away. We lost the skating rink, both bowling alleys. They took out most of the city pool, and they're taking out the rest of it this fall. They're taking away a lot of stuff at the Ted Lewis Park, the basketball courts, the tennis courts, and the skating park. And all they're going to replace it with is some nice looking trails and trees and a splash pad for kids. I just think it's silly to completely remove a city pool. I hope they have plans to replace it. Just going about 61 when the speed limit is actually 75, I believe. It's at least 70. My car can only handle about 68 miles per hour on a nice road, nice highway. And on a bad road, honestly can't really handle much more than like 55. Maybe a slightly roughed up highway, probably 63. So it is taking me longer to get to my destinations than everyone else. It's the shocks on my car, the traction aren't that great. If I ever hit like a pothole or where the road elevation changes, like getting onto a little bridge, my car is capable of like jumping over a few feet to the left or right or both. So sometimes I even gotta slow down for those little bridges, or if I see there's gonna be some potholes in the road. But the potholes I've taken Route 60, and from after I left Harrisburg, Illinois, I took Route 13 to Marion, Illinois. Harrisburg was where my dad lived. I stopped and saw him for a couple of days. I finally got to see my grandpa Bud on my dad's side. I hadn't seen him since I was like 2 years old or something. So finally got to see him where I'm going to be able to remember. And saw my uncle Buddy Hankins, one of my dad's brothers. Well, from Harrisburg, I went to Route 57 near Marion, Illinois. Took that south. 57 ended up turning into Route 60, and then I went west all the way to Route 44. And then Route 44, I took that and I stopped in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And that city is so beautiful, and it's pretty big and spread out. And I stayed in a crappy motel there, and then I went to the Hard Rock Hotel Casino. I played just 2 hours of poker, and I made $85, which is good and all, but I should have made like $170. I had a hand where like 4 or 5 people limped in. I was the big blind with ace king offsuit. I made it $13 in a 1-2 game, and one person called, and the flop was like king 8-3 rainbow, and I decided to check to try and get the other guy to bet, or at least let him catch up somehow. And the turn was another king, and I decided to check again. I figure he probably has like king or ace jack or something, so he's not going to call it, probably not going to call a bet. I'm coming up where I got to merge, and there's like a semi. It was about to pass me, but he was nice enough to let me over, so I'm getting over. But so that poker hand, he bets out the entire pot, $30 on the turn, and I'm not really worried. I'm actually pretty happy. I mean, I have the best 3 of a kind possible, and I call, and then the river is a queen, and it's also a heart, which brings a 3rd heart out there, and I check to him, just hoping that he's going to bet like 40 or 50 in case he does have like a flush, or in case on the off chance that he does have king queen. I decided to check, and if he has nothing, I got to check to let him bet anyways. And he decides to move all in for $107, and I actually go in the tank and think about it for 10 minutes. I'm like, well, why would he go all in? Where I play out online on Carbon Poker, all the regs would never go all in there unless they had me absolutely crushed, either like the nut flush or king queen, like, or they flopped a set or something, and then river to, or turn to full house. So I ended up talking to him to try to get some reads. He told me if I can't beat a flush that I should probably fold. And I talked to him a little bit more, and he's like, I definitely got you. He's like, I'll show you if you fold. And I think some more, then I ended up folding, and he freaking shows me just 8-9 suited. He flopped a pair of 8s, so I had him absolutely dominated. And in hindsight, I probably should have called. I already had $40 invested. I mean, yeah, his river shove was like 3 times the size of his turn pot bet, so it was technically a really big all-in. So against a really good opponent, a creditable opponent, it was actually a good fold, but against a random, it was probably a horrible fold by me. So if he had the flush, then he had the flush, so be it. Or if he had king queen or full house, so be it. I had the best 3 of a kind possible, so in hindsight, I think it was a stupid fold by me. I might just be results oriented since I had him beat, but so I lost out on $150 just that hand, probably. Maybe 140. And so I probably should have actually made like over $200 actually. because a couple hands later, I did end up making a flopped middle set and then revved a full house against a guy that just turned 2 pairs. So, and I got like 150 myself just in that hand. But since I'd already lost money on the ace king hand and a hand before that where I bet like bottom pair when I shouldn't have into 2 people on the turn. Oh, let me turn my arrow. Like sweating. But yeah, oh well, I made $85. But I kind of took my time driving yesterday. Google Maps said